We now get to pretty much the most annoying story questline, or at least the cutscene of the game, and that is where you confront Arkveld, and Nada has a change of heart and wants to let him live because he chose for himself, and he's actually getting to live for once. Meanwhile, Arkveld is completely slaughtering everything in our sight. We're literally walking on blood and gore below us, yet he wants to let this thing live after it demolished his village. Yeah, kid, no, this thing is going down. I hate this scene. A lot of people seem to hate this scene as well. But anyway, getting to the Arkveld fight, he's pretty much just like the last time we fought him, though he does have a few new moves, and his music is bigger and badder than ever before. The first phase, or the Repel quest as it's known, was pretty much a different theme than his normal theme. It was more quiet with a beat that sounded more like a heartbeat. It kind of fits with the story theme of Arkveld being artificial and wanting to become alive. I really like that change, because now as you fight him, the gloves are off, so the theme of Arkveld is more empowering and dramatic. I do have a couple of close calls in this fight, but I don't cart as I managed to use the lance to its full potential, which is basically blocking everything that comes at me, though a couple of times when I am hit, it's more of the Monster Hunter moments where something hits me from behind or I'm stuck against a wall and I can't move or run. Luckily, nothing hits me to the degree that carts me, so I am able to finish the fight with relatively quick timing. After about 15 minutes of fighting with Arkveld, he finally goes down, and now it is time for the final fight against Zoshia. This video is getting extremely long, however, I am going to be taking a little bit more time to go through Zoshia because of what it is to this game. It is not only the final boss of the low-rank story mode, but it's also more than that if you are into the deeper lore of the game. But first, I have to prepare. I go ahead and I eat my ration food to reapply my 30-minute buff, and I make sure all of my items are ready. Well, at least I think I did. I want you to keep in mind this number coming up because I completely forget to restock my honey, which is going to lead to some issues. Now, the world of this game has kind of like a ley line system, similar to arcane magic in pretty much any other fantasy world, and it is the lifeblood of this land. Zoshia is basically a giant clog absorbing all of the energy, which is why a lot of the weather effects and stuff is going to hell. Now, Nada just so happens to have a MacGuffin item that can completely destroy it, and this is where you and the group come in. Zoshia is an artificially created monster, but unlike the Guardians, he is more than just that. He is an amalgamated black dragon, created with the blood or DNA of several black dragons, and you can make the argument that there are more than just black dragons in his biology.
We dreamed of creating the world's strongest Pokemon. And we succeeded.
By my own order. I will slay Zoshia.
This fight ends up being a fight for survival, and not just in terms of the story. This is probably one of the hardest fights I had to do for this challenge. Not only is Zoshia absolutely chaotic, and I love it. He is one of my favorite fights so far in this game, right next to Jindahad. He is just so angelic when you first start off with the white crystals and the theme song, and slowly he devolves into something demonic. I've also heard speculation in the community of why he sits in the Dragon Torch and crystallizes himself, It's basically a form of protecting everything from himself. He is aware that he is destructive, and he tries to conceal himself and his demonic side by making himself look angelic and crystallizing his form. Of course, as you fight him, he gets more and more angry and sheds the crystal, revealing his true self. And it was at this moment I knew I fucked up. I did not bring enough honey, because even though he didn't hit me often because I shielded a lot of the time, he hit me really hard the few times he did, so I was constantly drinking my mega potions. I finished them all up to the point that I had to craft new ones, only to realize I'd not bring any more honey. I could only craft 3 more mega potions, leaving me with just normal potions. As we switch into phase 2, this once angelic looking being is now raining hellfire on the landscape. If you stand in this, you will die. Not even the ice shards that sprout out can save you like in the Jindahad fight. You have to run to the corner of the map, and I even put up my shield to try to block as much as I can. And then through the fire and ash, I see it. My opportunity to rush in and end this creature. I'm not lying when I say that got my adrenaline pumping. It was amazing just to rush in through the hellfire, even though it did give me a fire debuff. Now, in my panic trying to heal myself back up, I accidentally knocked out a trank bomb there, and I had to use a mega potion, but now I was starting to get a little bit desperate because I was running out of potions. Even the few max potions that I had already used. I'm trying to gather up as many pods I find on the ground to shoot at him, because it actually does quite a bit of damage. As you saw, it knocked him over enough for me to get in a couple of hits. One of the biggest problems fighting Xochitl is his AoE abilities, as not only did I strike in front of you, but to the side and behind you, and that's what's going to get me right here. Even though I block his main attack, he then strikes immediately again and hits me from behind, making me hit my 9th cart of this trial. Now, running back is actually a godsend because I find honey. Oh my god, even though it's only 2 honey, that's just enough to give me a few more mega potions to keep going. The story that I told you at the beginning of this long-ass video is pretty much now coming true in here. I am on survival mode. I have almost nothing. I had to craft and utilize whatever I can off of the ground, and then Phase 3 happens. This is when the demonic side of Xochitl really comes forth, and he summons red lightning from White Fatalis, again showcasing that he is more than just a Fatalis, more than just a Elatrian with his elemental shifting. He is more beyond that, and my adrenaline is still pumping from after that rush. The fact that I have almost nothing left to heal myself. He is shooting lightning, and it's hitting me from behind too, but luckily I managed to block it. It is getting absolutely chaotic and insane. With his abilities completely amped up, it gets to the point that I have to utilize my last few mega potions, and now I'm pretty much surviving on just normal potions. This is how close it is getting to the end of this fight, whether I go down or he goes down. He tries to once again burn me with his hellfire, only for me to block it with my shield. I see my moment and I rush through the inferno to strike at his tail, completely popping it off and angering him. But it's okay, this is giving me renewed strength. I continue my fight. He is shooting lightning. Even though he is shooting it behind me, I'm able to turn right on time and block it, giving everything that I have. But my luck runs out as I am completely out of potions. No more normal potions, no more mega potions, ancient potions, mega potions. I have absolutely nothing left to heal. The only thing I can do is try to survive. I have mega barrel bombs. I try utilizing them to just do a little bit of damage. I am in complete panic mode because now he has dropped me down to pretty much almost 1 HP. I am running for my life. I see a dragon pod on the floor and I utilize it to try to fight him from afar, and it makes an opening just long enough for me to rush in and get in a few more hits. Hopefully this will be just enough to bring him down. I managed to break the horns on his head, which completely angers him because now he gives me an absolute barrage of attacks, from his crystalline burst to a flaming inferno, and then finally an explosion that completely carts me again. I am completely running on fumes here, with nothing left to heal. I don't know how close he is to dying. He could be a few hits away, I could be a few hits away. Either way, this is going to end. I am not going to abandon this fight and try again. I am going to end it here once and for all. I do manage to look through my craftable, and while I didn't see much, I did see that I had 2 herbs. I don't really remember having those 2 herbs, but I used them to make 2 potions. This is gonna be it, the last scraps that I have of my supplies, as I rush in there to take on Xochitl and give it everything I have. It's gotten to the point where I am tunnel visioning. I just need to take him down, because I'm gonna die either way if I don't get this done quick and over with. As he rears up to do his red lightning abilities, it gives me just enough moment to scoot in and get under his tail where I am safer from his attacks. I give it everything I have for one last lunge, and finally with a power lunge, he goes down. I am sighing in relief, I am whooping, I am just completely enamored by the fact that I was that close to killing him from my second cart. Oh my god, what a journey it has been. 30 minutes of fighting Xochitl. I defeated him with nothing more than bone armor and less than elemental weapons. Though in my opinion, the true final fight is whatever the fuck we're looking at right here. Oh my god, what is with this polygon mess? Yeah, this game is not that well optimized, but hey, it does lead to some funny moments. But anyway, Xochitl is finally defeated, as is low rank. I only carted 10 times, and for what kind of challenge this is, that's pretty impressive.
I can't believe it's all over. What do we do now? What do you mean? Now we can finally play the game.
Low rank took me about 19 hours and 25 minutes, but now it is time to do high rank, so I'm gonna make that a separate video. If you want to see that part of the challenge, make sure you like this video and subscribe. Check out my main YouTube channel where I reviewed Monster Hunter Wilds, and I will see you in the next one.